have memories of being a child and what a miracle every Christmas was to me that we got all these gifts. To me, that was amazing. And I didn't feel that it was out of the realm that all of a sudden Santa Claus would bring all those presents. It fit in with my worldview. I think when you're a small child, you have a sense that you make room for miracles. In your mind, there's room for miracles. And the fact that that Christmas morning that Santa would come at some point during the night, there was this being, Santa, that it would come every Christmas morning and you'd be waiting and then your presents would be there. That's not difficult for a child to wrap their mind around, because your mind, you're open to wonder and miracles. It's the way life's supposed to be. Fast forward 60 some odd years and I still believe in Santa Claus, in that miracle, that sense of miracles, that the things arrive at our doorstep, arrive in our life, arrive unexpected, especially at Christmas time. So I prepare myself every Christmas, getting into the season. This is the season when those sorts of things are going to happen. Now, you might not think that a box of canned salmon is a miracle. I eat quite a lot. I want to have a lot of salmon in my diet, and I make really good fish cakes out of canned salmon. It's good for the salmon is good for your eyes and your bones and omega-3. It's everyone knows, of course, there's nothing really healthier than sockeye salmon. It's gotten a little pricey. I think at last time I was paying $8 for a tin, super value. So I was like, I really do feel good eating salmon and I want to eat more. Maybe there'll be one of those case lot sales sometimes where I could get it a little cheaper. Well, on this particular day, I'm heading up to London Drugs. My husband dropped me off because I had time. I was going to meet with Lily at Wheat Berries, but I was a bit early. I went to the London Drugs, and first thing was I need stamps and for sending off my Christmas cards. So I'm going to walking into London Drugs, looking around, going past the cash register, hoping there's not going to be a big lineup, because then I would have to just turn around and walk back. I didn't want to keep Lily waiting. Well, no lineup, a clear path to the cashier. Yay, and I go up and I get my joke a little with the guy behind the counter. Well, where's the lineup? And he says, you just missed it. Yeah, my lucky day. And he goes, yeah, go and buy a lottery ticket. He says, well, I didn't go buy a lottery ticket, but I thought, well, I'll just cruise down the food aisle just to see if that salmon was on sale. Going down the aisle, and get it, it is on sale. Not very many tins left. I don't want to take them all, so I take 3. It's a pretty good sale. It's like $1.50 cheaper than Super Value, so that's good. Carrying my salmon tins, going to the cashiers. A gentleman out of nowhere stops me. He says, oh, I just bought some salmon like that. $4.50 a tin. And this was $6.50, what I was paying. Where? This is just over there, Super Value. He says, yeah, I went and they had a case lot sale. They were all out, but someone went to the back. The produce guy went to the back and got me this case. He says, he kind of patted me on there. He says, go check it out. And I thought, that is pretty good. I went and put my tins back, and I thought, well, I've got this meeting, and do I want to go to, and I'm on foot, do I want to carry this case of salmon? But as I walked by Super Value, I knew I just had to go in. I had to go in. I didn't know how long that salmon would last, and so I'd figure out how to get it home. At that point, so I walk in. First guy there in an aisle, he looked like a real friendly, sort of jolly person, stacking shelves. I says, oh, do you have any salmon left? He goes, oh, I don't think so. I think we're all out. And he phoned, and I think, oh, we're all out. Oh, no, I'm too late. then he goes, well, let me go and check. I'll go in the back. I'll go ask someone else. So I toddle along after him. And he disappears behind those mysterious doors where everything's kind of stacked and hidden and waiting away with what's behind there. And then someone comes out and goes, oh, you were looking for that salmon. I goes, oh, I don't know whether there's any left. I'm kind of, oh, and all the way here, and I'm waiting, and like, oh, I could just almost visualize it. Oh, wouldn't it be great that, and then another person comes out and goes, oh, yeah, you're the one that wants the salmon, right? And I just showed him where it was, packed away, the last box. And a minute later, the original stock person comes out carrying my salmon. And I say, it's like Santa's salmon because both of them were like gritty like Santa's elves. Really, so happy that they were able to give me something that I really wanted. And I walked to the cashier and she says, how are you today? I said, I'm just great. I was in London Drugs and someone told me about the salmon and I kind of rushed right through and they found it for me in the back. And she says, yeah, I just rung that gentleman through. She said, he just went through. The timing was so great. And she was saying, Merry Christmas. I said, Merry Christmas. And then, this is the part where you know there's a Santa Claus, because at that moment, a band started playing. Wish you a Merry Christmas. And what? Like, that sounds like live music. And I walk over and the community orchestra is there. And there's someone, with the cello, the violin, and the trumpets. I'm like, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
The name of my story is Olive and the SallyAnn. It's pouring rain and I'm secluded undercover outside London Drugs, ringing the bells for the Salvation Army. A lady walks by with a baby and a snuggly on her chest pushing a baby carriage. A very wet black lab walks beside her. The lady says the dog's name is Olive. She ties Olive to a pole and goes inside London Drugs. Olive looks so sad, sorrowful, and forlorn, sitting down on the wet pavement. She looks over at me for an explanation as to why her mom just left her all alone. Her big, sad, sorrowful eyes look right into my soul. The number of shoppers that pass by far exceed the number that passed by me standing several feet away. What can I do to entice the people to come near me? There were, in the past 2 minutes, at least 5 people have stopped to say hi and pat Olive. 1 or 2 people have passed by me in the past 5 minutes. What's wrong with this picture? Suddenly, the obvious becomes obvious. I should be standing beside Olive.
Oh.
Olive looks at people, melts their heart. People give to SallyAnn. It's obvious. Why didn't I think of this earlier? Olive's mum comes out of London Drugs and goes to untie Olive. I have to get her attention. I need to talk with her. Olive's mom. Hi, Olive's mom. I need to talk to you, Olive's mom. Hello? She turns to me. Says, I need to talk to you for a moment, please. I'm sorry, I don't have any change to give you, she said. I'm not asking you for change. I'd just like to talk to you for a moment, if that's okay. She grudgingly starts pushing the baby carriage up over to me. Olive looks quite happy to be following up with me, coming towards me, knowing she's going to get lots of pats. We're becoming friends. I said to Mum, when you were in London Drugs, Olive looked so sad, sorrowful, and forlorn. Everybody stopped to pat her and say hello. She looked into people's eyes and just melted their hearts. And Mom said, yes, she does that to everybody. And I said, I would really like it if I could, I'd really appreciate if I could borrow Olive for tomorrow at the London Drugs right here. I'll set up where she was standing, where she was, and all she needed to do was sit beside me, and she'll melt people's hearts with everybody that comes up and pats her, and then people will want to donate. And I'll take very good care of her. While I'm talking to her, Mom, 3 little children come over and start patting Olive and saying hello. I turn and smile at the mother. Mother, laughs out loud, I know Olive melts people's hearts. She does that every day. She does that to me all the time. No, I'm sorry, I cannot lend you Olive. And I'm sorry, but I have to go now. I watch her walk away with Olive, feeling very sad. I go back ringing the bells, but they play a very sad tune. But as I'm also looking for Olive as she walks away to look back at me, to say goodbye. She doesn't. So I continue watching them leave. I'm surprised to see a crowd of boys and teens walking towards me. One by one, they come up and put a $5 bill in the kettle and say, this is from Olive. My eyes fill with tears. I whisper, Merry Christmas, Olive. I hope I get to see you another time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're a miracle of Christmas, a magical time of Christmas happening with my family. It was not the last Christmas. We go back about 10 years. My daughter was about 10 or 11. I can be wrong by a year or two. But she was little and still believing in Santa. My son is 2 years younger, and he started to doubt a bit about Santa. So me and my wife, we planned a little trick this Christmas, that Christmas. We're hiring is a big word. We're asking a person. I was willing to give some money for, but she said, I'll do it for free. I say she because the Santa was a girl, a woman, and she dressed like Santa. Then we arrange it. When we leave Robert Street to head home, and Gibson, I was leaving, give a call to that lady, and she go into my house, sit in the living room with a glass of milk and a cookie, and waiting for our arrival. So it happened bang on midnight. So we arriving in my place here in Camellia, and I walk first, open the door, and walk up, and there's a light upstairs. And I says, oh, kids, be quiet. I think there's someone upstairs. Knowing, I tricked them. So I'm walking, it's a split level, just to put you in the scenario type of thing. It's 2 level. We came in the ground level, and upstairs is the living room and the kitchen and everything else. And Santa is sitting up there. So we start to climb up the stair. Then I'm in the front, and I can stop down. I don't want them to run up. So as we just arriving the head above the floor, I stop everything. They all see Santa in the living room now. They just see from an angle like this, and Santa stand up, grab the bag, and start to walk. And my kids, I can't see them. It's clear, crystal clear in my mind still. The kids are looking at Santa. Go around, and Santa take off by the bedroom of my daughter. There's a patio door. Then leave, no question asked. Then after he leave, I let my kids go up there. And next thing you know, they run to the window to check outside if they can see it. I say, you're not gonna see it. I said, Santa is the sleigh's on the roof. It worked well. My daughter, after Santa left, my daughter left the window, go back to the Christmas tree, and saw the gift, new gift under the tree. Now she's definitely believe in Santa. That was beautiful to see that. She grabbed the gift and she held it, and for, I would say, at least 10 to 15 minutes, she was crying of happiness and disbelief. Like, she was like this, and a tear come down. I feel a bit bad. I tell myself, when my daughter find out it was tricky, she'll be mad at me. I mean, I fooled her pretty good. But it was so beautiful. And my son, he was kind of skeptical. Is that the proper word, skeptical?
Skeptical.
Yeah, he was kind of, whoa, and he had a gift too. So he didn't say much. He was just kind of, but it was a beautiful in a way. My wife was really happy to see that. And I look at my wife and say, well, I might push it a little hard on that one. But that was a beautiful, beautiful time, you know, because to remember something similar, I had to go back when I was kids myself. And the year I figured out Santa, it's kind of not what the adult make you believe in, because I recognized the shoes of my uncle on the afternoon and night, same shoes, different costume. I clue in. But I was number 6 in the family of 9. So we get the older one, you keep your mouth shut, because the 3 younger below me, they still. So that's the magical of Christmas. It's really beautiful. And I want to thank you for listening.
Yeah.
So I grew up with 4 sisters. The little one came 5 years after. She was a welcome surprise. That's how we all understood it from what my parents told us. And that's so lovely. Like, she was a gift. And she's grown up to feel very good about that. I've talked to her in the meantime. It's lovely. And so the family dynamic is us first 3 were more the 3 girls. And we would get a parcel from my grandmother from Scotland, and we were allowed to open it on Christmas Eve. That was the only gift that we could open. And it was a box that was usually this big. So that was terrific fun. Oh my goodness, all the way from Scotland. And when we were younger, in fashion, Scotland and Britain were about 3 years ahead of us. So sometimes the presents were a little alarming. I might have told you this already. You know, one time there were go-go boots, you know, kind of plastic boots with a hat, and we were going, Granny, what do you think about us, you know? But once the fashion started getting closer, it was so wonderful. Luckily, I kept a lot of those things like fishnet stockings and stuff. They were really good quality.
Wow.
And when I did go to Britain, I saw that the British ladies love the pop culture and the fun of clothing. And Granny and my aunt would send us these things. On Christmas morning, the stockings were there, and we were allowed to open up the stockings. So we were not allowed to wake my parents till about 8 o'clock, but we could dive into the stockings. And when the parents woke up, then we could, one at a time, usually open presents under the tree. And they were often sporty things, a new pair of skis or a bike. There were the traditional pajamas and things like that too. When I was traveling a bit, after I was in my 20s, I started to appreciate other cultures. And the midnight mass that the Catholic countries celebrated seemed so wonderful. We didn't celebrate that. We had Granny's parcel. But when I met George, his family are very Catholic, and we went to midnight mass here up at the church. That was the first time we did that together, and unfortunately when we came out, someone had hit and run our car. So it was a little alarming, and we thought we better phone ICBC, get a claim number, and deal with it right away. It was midnight, but we did it. And I'm listening, and George is talking. a bit of back and forth. They both agreed it was probably Santa Claus.
Oh,
And I heard the spirit, the fun, and you know, we just were fine to let it go. I don't know what we did, but we had a good story. Yes, it was Santa Claus. And the ICBC person and George were talking about it, and there was good humor. I think that whole joy of Christmas and the fun came out under that situation, and it dealt as a good story. Thank you.